Okay, key to success, good communication with the players, with your fellow umpire, have fun and enjoy. I won't go any further because it's all to do with code of conduct and all that sort of stuff we've set up.
David, attacking free hits inside the 23.
Yep.
Ball goes directly into the circle.
Yep.
Resulting free hit is from...
Where it come from.
Okay. All right.
But what happens is, because it goes so quick, what happens, a lot of teams are taking it where it's gone into the circle.
Correct. The next part of that then is, because there's no instruction in the rules to suggest you could play advantage to the defence if they trap the ball inside the circle and get it out. Are we able to allow an advantage there, or must it be a free hit?
From a consistency point of view, I would give a free hit every time, because then everyone knows that you're aware of the rules, because the ball has gone inside the circle.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think from a consistency point of view, as soon as that ball goes inside the circle, it's a free hit. And if they trap it, and they go, oh, we've got it. Sorry, it's a free hit here.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And from consistency point of view, yeah, I think so. Yep.
So just with the ball going 5 and the play being within 5, if the player's never gone 5 from the ball, but the ball has gone 5, are they still offside, or have they never been brought onside? So I was always taught that you have to be 5 away from the ball to be sort of back onside.
If you haven't channeled the guy, like if you're making the effort, as soon as that ball's travelled 5 metres, you're allowed to play it. As soon as the ball has travelled, so, and don't take this in a bad way, forget about offside. It's inside the 5, because there's no offside. So just think that they're inside the 5 metres. Yeah, it'll just make it easier for you. That's
so
all.
It's 5 metres from where it was taken from, not from where
So,
the ball is.
and I can take 5 1-metre drags, and that's it. 5 metres is over.
Okay, so in a hypothetical, if I was to run down the sideline and me as a player that's within 5 originally starts from outside of the play, as soon as he's run 5, I can immediately tackle him if I run side by side to the outside of the ball.
Long as you're not gaining an influence on that player. If you've made an effort to try and get out, but if you're channeling him, you've got no right to play it.
No, but the question that's being asked is, if that tackler is outside the field of play,
Yep.
running level with the person in possession of the ball.
No, because he's gained an advantage.
Right.
Yeah. He can't channel. Doesn't matter if he's outside the field play or inside the field. He can't channel that player.
Yeah.
Like if I'm running off and this guy is sort of just hanging back and not interfering, totally different. And you've just got to judge that one on itself. But if I'm channeling you, I've got no right to channel you. Yeah. Yeah, definitely not.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Catch you later.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Any other questions? No?
Sorry, I've got one last one. Sorry, all the questions.
You can have as many as you like.
To what extent can the captain speak to an umpire? Because I'm both an umpire and a captain. So what's an acceptable level of a captain approaching an umpire and just saying, example we had on Wednesday night was I went up to the umpire and just said, just because our opponents are appealing frees doesn't mean it's a free.
Yep.
Because I, in my opinion, thought the umpire was being influenced significantly. Didn't say those words. My statement was, I feel that just because they're appealing, it's not a free. I was told very politely that I don't tell him how to umpire, he doesn't tell me how to play, and if I want to continue, there's a seat over there. So at what level is...
I think he's pretty much right.
Pretty right.
Because technically, you have no right as a captain. If you're asked, right, you've got to understand, if he's asked a civil question, then I think you should answer it appropriately as an umpire.
Yeah.
But if you're accusing him of some wrongdoing, I'd be very careful, because I think more or less what you've accused him of is cheating. So I know it's not easy, but I'd be very careful where where you approach like that.
Yeah, it's just that I do both. That's the thing. It's like, you know, I know I overstepped as captain, so I was getting frustrated at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as an umpire as well, what level do I have to kind of just, you know, give a bit of leeway, and then others say, right, you're out of line. There is the seat, go over seat.
You've got to be very careful. If you're going to ask him anything, it might be better when the incident hasn't happened. Maybe off the ball, you just say to him, listen, can I just have a quick word? And just say, listen, I think that some of the free hits, they're putting their hand up and they're getting them for nothing. And if you talk calmly that way, he should answer you respectfully. And if he doesn't, it's not really good, because you're asking a normal question, and if you ask it in the right tone of voice, I think you should be given a reasonable answer. And if, you know, you might have already overstepped the mark, so people, yeah, they'll just dig their heels in, and which is it's sad in a way. But if you ask a nice question, you should be answered. Yeah. So it's always a bit of a grey area, especially if something's happened and you mightn't think you've set it at that level. This is what I was talking about before. It might be at this level. The umpire's seen it as aggressive towards him, so he's on the back burner straight away. He's backpedaling and going, well, I'm not putting up with this. It's a hard area. And that's why when something happens, I think, especially if the umpire's made a strong, stern decision and you want to approach him, I don't think the time is right. You know where I'm coming from? You need to sort of... Yeah, there is a time and a place, and if an umpire is already at that level, he's a human being as well, even though your team and other people mightn't think it's acceptable. Obviously there's other avenues you need to go down that path if someone thinks that they're being ill-treated by certain individuals, which, okay, let's face it, it's happened over the years, but you've got to tread very carefully. And you being the captain makes it even harder. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the phrase that we hear a lot is, I'm the captain, I'm allowed to ask a question.
No.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
But what I teach umpires is, you know, if anyone asks you a question and they do it in a polite way, you always answer them. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah,
if they ask you aggressively...
I do with my umpire on Sundays, so equally I'm going to have the reverse where their teams will be asking me questions. So.
I think as an umpire we have the duty to educate as well. So if a player asks a question...
Oh, for sure.
Give them an answer so they can...
And I don't have a problem with that. But it just depends on where it is, how it's asked, and what level, what tone it's at.
At the same time, during the game, the umpire, you've got to say, yeah, give us a couple of minutes to talk to see if it settles down.
Yeah.
You've got to think about whereabouts the play is.
Yeah.
You do answer, but you've got to watch what's going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And it does often happen at half time where you get the captain come up to you and want to talk to you, and they'll be, I'm the captain, I can talk to you. And sometimes you do have to say, well, you need to calm your farm.
Yeah.
And go and calm down because I need to talk to my co-umpire. It's half time. We need to have a team talk and you guys do.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later. So they don't have the right to come and question you, even if it is half time and the game's stopped.
Yeah, correct. Even at full time.
Yeah.
Especially full time when you're off the game.
Yeah.
Get him up.
Yeah. But it's a hard job. Fine. But it is a hard job. It's not an easy job, and usually be the same as every other association and every other part of the world where we struggle to get umpires. We're not on our own. Like the whole world struggle to get umpires. And I think the more that players are let dictate and behave the way they do, it makes it harder for us as well. And I think it's because we play, a lot of us play an umpire. So when we play an umpire, I think we're, in the back of our minds, we're concerned about the repercussions. Like how many times have you heard, well, I'll be umpiring you next week? You know, it's sad, but it's realistic and it's part of our game, which is, you know, not nice. But when we play and we umpire, it's always difficult with that.
Especially the South Coast finals last year, and they have their umpires every week. It's the same umpire every week during cricket, and you go down to Mesa T and do their finals, and they're like, we've been playing this different all year because this other umpire's been blowing it her way or their way, and you come down and say, well, no, this is actually how the rule is said, and this is how it is as a nation we are playing it. So it's that very dicey area.
Yep.
You've got that in a community.
Yep.
It's really hard to deal with.
That, and it's always going to be that way, which is sad. But
That's where you educate.
yeah. Oh, we see it at nationals, we see it at state championships, and we'll have some people turn up and they've got a different interpretation of the one rule, and we have that, and it's not easy.
Umpires briefings are always fun, aren't
They are, especially if you have a joint one.
they? With the managers, team managers?
No, with the women.
Oh. Poles apart.
Seriously, we only ever had a joint briefing for the Athens Olympics, and the men were giving a long corner and the women were giving a penalty stroke. So we actually split after that. We went to that side of the room and the women went to that side of the room, and it was an interesting conversation.
It's interesting with one set of rules, two is interpreting it differently.
Yeah, it really was. And that's how we do it sometimes.
I used to do men's comp on Friday night, do the men's, and then I've done across the women's. It's totally different umpiring.
Yeah.
Different skill sets and the way you.
Oh, for sure.
Very different games.
Yeah.
Same rules, different game.
Yeah. So any more? We right to go? All good?
Can't wait to see you umpire tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Who are you umpiring with? Sterling? Who's umpiring with? You.
Oh, we could have got a better umpire for you, mate, after drinking.
You better be on the bench side then, mate.
Who is it?
Bench side.
Central Goulburn. Grand final
Except
rematch.
tomorrow.
No, I'm following.
You want to bet? No, you can have bench side. Don't worry me.
Radio goes and
I was going to say, you're going to be wired? You're
So
gonna
does
be mic'd
mine.
up?
My righty doesn't take a radio. Too wonky. No, because when we had our earpieces, we had earpieces made up. Oh, moulded, yeah, it's perfectly sat in your ear.
Sorry?
We had our own, and had your name engraved in it and everything, and you just clipped a little mic on it, and it just sat in your ear perfectly, light as a feather. Yeah, they were really, really comfortable. Yeah, we had to go and get a mould taken, and yeah.
Like a mouth guard, but
Yeah, they've still got mine. They wouldn't give it to me because they were hoping I was coming back, but hasn't happened. They were trying to get me back as a video umpire as well, but that's not happening either.
Well, you can do that on Wi-Fi and stuff, can't you? Sit at home and do that?
Nah. Not doing it. I let them know. I actually applied to, I nominated to go on the umpiring committee, but Jason McCracken, he was already on from Oceania anyway, so he got voted back on. That was all I was really willing to do, because it was mainly only a couple of weekends over the year that you had to be away. But if I wanted to become a video umpire or even an umpire's manager, it's still, a month's holiday a year, and where I work, I've been there 23 years. I've used all my annual leave, all my long service leave for hockey. My children are 16, 13 and 5 very shortly. And the last 2 years since I retired in 2012 is the first family holidays we've had. 2 weeks in October we went to Queensland for the last 2 years. That's our first ever family holidays. Well, obviously we've been camping over Easter and the long weekend, but never a family holiday because I've never had to leave. Yeah. So.
You got to love what you do, don't you?
Yeah. Especially when I come through, it's quite expensive. So a lot of times, we never used to get paid or anything. And even at international tournaments, okay, we got our airfares, you got your meals supplied, but a lot of the time, especially if you were umpiring at 7 o'clock at night, you couldn't eat before, and by the time you finished umpiring and the 9 o'clock games after you, by the time you get back, the restaurants are closed at the hotel, so you've got to find your own meals, and yeah. And if you're at a tournament and we're eating with the teams, you've got a couple of younger umpires and they haven't had the best game, the last place you want them sitting is with the teams they've just umpired. So, okay, let's go out for dinner. So then you're out again. And people don't realise that sort of stuff. I reckon I outlaid over 350,000 over my career. So that's why I'll be working until I'm 90.
That's a far off.
A couple of years to go, Joe. We'll be in the home together.
Goodman hands. Gap or something.
First 6 months I can push your frame and then we'll swap over. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll catch up with you over the weekend.
Yep.
So if people want to come and stand with me when we're just standing around, they need, yeah. But if they've got questions, they need to come to me, because it's really hard to try and get. And some people won't ask questions or ask things in a group environment. Some people are a bit, a bit scared.
Sorry.
But
That's
what's,
my
yeah,
nature.
but what's wrong with that?
No, I do.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
never hold back.
Yeah, nothing wrong
These
with that.
people know me.
That's fine.
Wouldn't be here.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you.